What to say about Gaza? It's now late December, and again I'm putting together a podcast on Gaza. This is a stunning situation and a saddening situation, and something must be done, and the whole world knows it. Everybody was stunned by the killing of 3 Israeli boys by Israel. One was even crying for help in Hebrew before being shot by the Israel Defense Forces. And they were waving a white flag. And they were gunned down in cold blood. And these were Israelis who were hostages. This is sort of symptomatic of the way things are. This is not honorable. This is not right. This war is being conducted by standards that are subhuman. There's only one way forward now, and that does not mean the forced depopulation of Gaza. I know some Israelis may be tempted to bomb the Rafah crossing and let a flood of human misery go out of Gaza into Sinai. That would be a grave shame on the face of Israel and an unforgivable crime. There has to be a way forward, and there is a way forward, and it is the reform of the corrupt and decadent Palestinian Authority in order to provide a new administration for Palestine, that combined with a peace process. There's massive backing for a Palestinian strongman to replace the corrupt and aging, chain-smoking Abu Mazen, and there are only 2 credible candidates. One is Mohammed Dahlan, who currently resides in Dubai in the United Arab Emirates, and the other is Marwan Barghouti, who currently resides in jail in Israel. The international community may prefer the less charismatic Dahlan. Dahlan is a man with whom I once negotiated the release of Jawid al-Hussein, the ex-PLO fund chairman. I remember the time, it was years ago. Dahlan pointed his finger at me and said, "William, if I had him, I'd kill him." It was a melodramatic touch, but it gives the flavor of the man who is very ruthless, but very effective. I think we need Dahlan to run Palestine, because we need somebody who can stand up to Israel and also control Hamas. The alternative is a charismatic leader like Marwan Barghouti, and Marwan Barghouti is charismatic, and he would have the actual support of the Palestinians. Is that a better choice? Yes, of course it is. It requires the cooperation of Israel to get him out of jail, and it requires the cooperation of Hamas to ask for him in a prisoner exchange. Hamas probably would not want to be the turkey that voted for Christmas. They wouldn't want Marwan Barghouti. They would be sidelined by him. Whereas Dahlan still gives them a future. Well, a kind of better future for Palestine, I suppose. We certainly need subsequently a peace process that brings about, I think the day is gone for a negotiated peace, an imposed peace, any kind of peace, brings about a peace settlement in which Israel recognizes the state of Palestine as a state. Then we can move on. That if Israel fails to recognize the state of Palestine as a state, then we are condemned to a whole nother generation facing the misery of this very unnecessary war that really has been a war that's been ongoing since 1948. There's been no peace. The prospects of Israel widening this war and moving into southern Lebanon with a new buffer zone are slim, really, to be honest. Israel would be extremely foolish to broaden this conflict. But what is very real is the prospect of Gaza falling with disease, cholera, whatever, typhoid, I don't know. The misery of the open sewers was there before Israel bombarded Gaza. Now, with the lack of adequate drinking water, I mean, it's incomprehensible what Israel has done to the infrastructure of Gaza. And those 2.5 million or so people crammed into that small space, half their homes gone. I mean, disease is the next killer. I suspect the real death toll in Gaza, they're talking about 30,000 dead listed names thus far, but the real death toll is probably double, if not triple that. So many are buried under the rubble. But the death toll from disease could be colossal too. So we have a poor situation, poor prospects for the future, unless Israel wakes up and the world wakes up. And now is the time. Christmas approaching, the season of goodwill to all. This festering wound has to be healed. It's enough. It's enough. It's enough. We need to enter the war. We need a new Palestinian administration. And we need a peace process. And we need it now. Not tomorrow. Now.